I am in no way an expert on batteries, inverters, chargers, or energy systems. So everything I say is at best generic information and is subject to error. Probably lots of error. But here it goes. Embassy uses lithium-ion batteries in their vans. Now, before you start posting how such and such batteries are the ones everyone gets, or this or that system is the best system out there, or blah blah batteries have some claptrap component, or abracadabra feature, or any other hoo-ha, let's be clear. I don't care. Whenever anyone posts a video about what they think is the best battery system, there's always someone that says some other brand is better. This video isn't about which battery or system is better. They all have positive and negative terminals. Attributes. There are great things you can say about pretty much any battery. And there are not so great things you can say too. And unless you're building your van from scratch, it doesn't really matter anyway, does it? You get what you get because that is what the builder chose to use. Some manufacturers use a different battery system than Embassy, who currently uses lithium batteries built by Lithionics, and that's fine. Other manufacturers use Lithionics in some models and other battery systems in other models, and that's fine too. And still other RV manufacturers have designed their own system altogether. Again, that's fine. Builders choose a design that fits the requirements for their van build and price point. As long as they're using reputable lithium batteries and not cheap knockoffs, and as long as they design safety features to limit potential risks, everything should work as expected. Now, do your own research on this when considering one RV over another. It's important. The way an Embassy RV is built determines the system needed to power their vans. The guarantees given by the battery system manufacturers play a strong part in deciding what is best for their design and quality standards. It's not just about the battery, nor about how the entire system works together, but about all the testing and design that goes into creating an entire package that is safe, efficient, and, well, does what it's supposed to do, power your van. Now, one of the biggest power hogs in a van is the air conditioner. And considering how long a battery lasts while using it has become a kind of standard measure for determining how well a battery system will work in the real world. It's something that concerns us, for sure. We have a dog and we want her safe while we're away from the van. I actually stopped looking at certain RV manufacturers because, well, they just flat out refuse to update their systems to high-amp lithium batteries. Without that, the AC just wasn't going to last long enough for our needs. It was a deal breaker. Just so you know, the AC in an Embassy is a 12-volt system, so doesn't need an inverter that secretly sucks up energy like a vampire when powered up. That's right. An inverter alone may use 3 amps just by being on, and it needs to be on if you have a 120-volt system AC so it can convert from direct current to alternating current. So having a 12-volt AC system saves you power just because it doesn't need the inverter to run. And since the installation in the Embassy is so efficient, go see my video on installation, there are many times you don't even need the AC on, so you're saving energy there too. So the efficiency of the van build matters. It's a huge factor in how much energy you're going to need in the first place. Power is measured in watts. No problems there as far as it goes. But watts have nothing to do with efficiency. The same goes for amps and volts. In the most simple terms, and probably not the most accurate way of explaining it, amps is how much energy there is to use so you can power stuff. And volts is how much force is used to make the amps move so you can power stuff. And then watts is how fast you're using up the power. Again, not a lot about efficiency. And at least for me, none of it means a thing. Like I said, I'm no battery expert. I try to think of it this way. If I have a car with a 14-gallon tank, and you have a car with a 12-gallon tank, then I should go farther, right? Not necessarily. If I have a big, heavy car, and you have a small, light car, you don't need as much energy to move, so can go farther for each gallon of gas. You are, in essence, more efficient. My gas tank holds more, but I need more power to make the car move. In the same way, a battery may be rated with amps, more energy storage, but if the van needs more of that energy to run the AC on a hot day because of less insulation or whatever, then those amps are going to get used up more quickly. And I think of volts like this. A sports car might go 0 to 60 in less time than my car, but it needs the extra push, like volts, to do it. So the sports car moves fast, right away, but it uses more energy to do so. This isn't a perfect analogy, but the point is it isn't just about measuring amps or volts or watts. It's about efficiency. The efficiency of the van, of the AC, of the entire system. When energy travels from a battery to whatever it is you're powering, there is some resistance involved, measured in ohms. No, not that kind of ohm. If the energy needs to travel through more wires, for instance, some of that energy is lost in the process. Also, if whatever it is you're powering is inefficient, like an inverter using 3 amps of power converting from DC to AC, it uses up energy before it even gets to the thing it's supposed to be powering. So how many watts or amps or volts you have doesn't tell you enough to know how efficient the overall system is. Comparing watts from one system to another can give you a relative indication of the amount of power you have compared to another system, but doesn't really tell you anything else. It's like having 2 apples, one really red and one not so red. Does that tell you how flavorful either is? Not really. The lesson here is, watts alone doesn't mean a thing, nor do amps or volts. It's the overall system you need to be looking at, and not just the battery system you have, but things like the efficiency of the AC you're powering and how well the RV insulates in the first place. There are a lot of great systems out there that different manufacturers use. But it isn't like you get to choose what battery system a builder uses. They use what works for them. And if you want their RV, that's the system you're getting. So you need to do your own research and come to your own conclusions about what your needs are and what system is going to provide for those needs. Then you can limit your search for RVs that have that system. Lithionics isn't the only system out there, but that's what Embassy uses, and it works for them, so it works for us. And anyway, if a better system is really out there, I bet Embassy is looking into it, as I'm sure other manufacturers are as well. That isn't really the point. What matters to us is having the energy we need when we need it, without too much waste or inconvenience. And Embassy does that with their efficient insulation, with their 12-volt appliances, and with their choice of battery system. So we're happy. Be seeing you.